Ja, de är skitbra.
Skitbra, verkligen. Konserten?
Den var också jättebra.
Såg inte hela, men det var skitbra det man såg.
Roskilde var de bättre. Det är det jag vill säga. De var bättre på Roskilde.
Do you think that the hysteria around now is a bit ridiculous?
I don't know. I don't really pay a lot of attention to it. I mean, what do you know? Hysteria. We got a lot of attention. You know what I mean? A lot of like Teen Spirit was kind of played into the ground. Kind of made me feel a little self-conscious. You know. What do you guys think of hysteria?
Oh, it's a load of shit. I think there are at least 10 to 15 other bands who are just as good, if not better than us, and they deserve just as much attention as we do if they choose to take that attention, if they want it, you know. But I think the reason that we've become so popular is because we were on a major label and we were exposed. We had the tools and the access to the mainstream in order to expose ourselves to the mainstream.
Okej, jag la pengarna på vin nu. Men jag satt utanför och hör dem. Och det är så jävla tungt. Det är så jävla bra. Det är det bästa. Du vet, det är det bästa.
Ja, de var bra alltså.
Jag fick storstånd. Tror ni Nirvana är stilsättare när det gäller klädmode? Ja! Snart är det kul!
De skäms inte för att de är jävligt fula.
Men snygga jag för fan!
It can be a burden, you know, to be wanting to be famous, kind of vain, really. If you think about it. Everybody, look at me, you know. It's like, it'll pass someday. You know?
Most people who are really famous end up staying in their hotel rooms all the time. Total reclusives, and then they don't do anything. That sucks.
It's a scaring perspective, isn't it?
I don't want to turn into that kind of a person, but I can understand why Prince is such a freak, you know? Because people, you know, paw him all the time, you know, and I try to walk around in every town and go to record stores and stuff, and I really don't get hassled that much, but it's enough to make me really think about, well, should I go into this record store, you know, and I shouldn't have to even think about stuff like that, but I guess that's fame, you know, and until people's attitudes change about fame and guitar solos and all that kind of stuff, you know, I just have to put up with it.
Vilka är Nirvana?
Men egentligen så bryr vi oss inte.
Va?
Kort recension.
Kåt! Mycket kåt, liten jävel!
For some reason, I don't know if it was some conspiracy, or it might be just that labels invest money in some crap and they just want their money back, and so they just shove this down the throats of the mainstream. Or they've like read some demographic survey says that, you know, people want more disco or whatever, and they say give more disco, and then people are given disco or whatever, and then they say in the survey that they want disco. It's just like a vicious circle.
It's the same thing with the hippies. It's like the hippies started out in San Francisco with a small group of people, and by 1967 the people who started the hippie movement denounced the hippie movement by the time before it became commercialized, because I feel the same way with underground music. Once it gets commercialized, it really doesn't matter, because by the time that all the hippies...
It's not underground anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah, but by the time the hippie movement was so huge and the mainstream was aware of it, the fringe people, you know, the people in the suburbs who weren't aware of the hippie movement at the beginning finally turned into hippies, but they were fake hippies, you know what I mean? They weren't really hippies, they were just growing their hair long and smoking pot every once in a while and talking about peace and love, but they really didn't understand it. And that's what's happening with the supposedly alternative underground music scene right now. And it happened in the early 80s with New Wave, you know? It's just a cycle. And
That's inevitable, isn't it?
oh, sure, yeah. But I don't know, I may sound really negative about it, but I sincerely think that the generation underneath our generation, the kids who are around like 15 or even 9 to 12 to 20 years old are a bit more aware and a bit more intelligent. I think education is a little bit better right now, and the reason that kids are more educated is because they choose to be more educated. I don't know why that is, I can't explain it, but I just feel like kids right now in their teenage years are a lot more aware of things, and they're a bit more passionate about things. They're not as cynical as we were when we were teenagers.